I swear, sometimes it just feels impossible. They told us at 18 to figure out what we want to do with our whole lives. And now, once we're graduated and in our 20s, it's like, good luck. Now it's up to you. Hi, everybody. My name's Ben. And in this video, I'm going to discuss some reasons why it feels so hard to figure out what we want from our life and a couple of things that we can do to make it feel easier. So, we have to begin by discussing, is it really hard to make choices? Some things are much easier than others. For example, we don't think too much about where we want to eat for dinner, unless you're my wife and it might cause an argument down the road. But with other things, it takes a lot more thinking. Something that crossed my mind was, how hard is it for us to decide where we want to go on vacation? If someone says, oh, do you want to go to the Bahamas or to the mountains? Most of us have a preference. And the thing is, there aren't an infinite number of choices that you get for vacations in life. You only have so many, right? And that's how it kind of feels when you're trying to pick a job to do for your whole life. You stop and think and you go, okay, if I pick this one job, this is going to be the job I have for the rest of my life. Or if I pick this one career, am I stuck in it for my whole life? The good news is nowadays people have what you call a portfolio career. So there's lots of different types of jobs that you might have. You're not going to work at the factory for 50 years of your life. But it still doesn't make it easier, especially when we're so young and we don't have a ton of experience to look back on. But we have to get back to the why. Why is it so hard to make a choice on what we want to do? And I have a couple theories. Think about this for a second. When you were young, what did you do? You followed what your parents said. You followed what your teachers said in school. You followed what your friends thought about you, what you saw on social media, what you saw online. And in high school, you followed what they told you as well. They even told you that if you go to school and go to college, you're going to make 20% more than your fellow graduates. Meanwhile, you have the kid that dropped out of college, started his plumbing business, and is a millionaire now. My theory for why it's so hard to make a choice is because for most of us, we have let other people make choices for us. Think about even when you were a little kid. Your mom most likely picked out what you're going to wear to school. You had a limited number of choices at the lunch line, and you had a limited number of choices for what sport or club to join. Now, when you're in real life, there's quite literally almost an infinite amount of choices on what job you could have and how you can make a living that it's extremely overwhelming. Not to mention that almost everything is chosen for us in our lives. When you watch this YouTube video, you're going to have something recommended to you. And if you watch Netflix, it's going to show you recommendations based on what you like. You don't even have to choose or try to find out what you like. This is the same with food. We see advertisements for things that we should like, for phones, for what we should be doing. All these different things that tell us what we should like and what we should do. And so we don't even have to choose how to live our lives at all anymore. But the one thing that's interesting is that it's so hard to choose a career because for some reason, that just feels a little bit more permanent in our minds. There's not one right answer on how to fix this, and there are lots of different pieces of advice that I could give you and other people could give you. But I do think one thing can help us to start getting on the right path. Something that's kind of a little bit of a silly exercise, but drives the point home, is for the next couple of days or even just for the next hour, question why on everything. Why did you want to click this video? Why did you even stay to the end of this video? Why did you choose to wear what you wore today? Why are you eating what you are going to eat today? Why did you watch this on your phone instead of the TV? These little things sometimes don't have a ton of meaning behind it. It trains your brain to get into the habit of asking why, and then you can decide the bigger questions more easily. For example, if you never even question why you're doing the habits that you are doing on a day-to-day basis, how will you ever determine why you want to do this job and career that you want to do? Simon Sinek said it best, start with why, and it will make everything else so much easier. Being in your 20s can be scary and it's tough because we have so many expectations upon us and so many things that we want to excel at, yet we have the least amount of experience and resources at this point in our lives. I think we just gotta stick together, trust the process, and good things will come our way. I hope that this video could help you feel a little less alone and to know that other people are feeling like this too. But don't forget, why did you click on this video? And why are you going to click on this one that YouTube thinks you would like? See what I did there?